Hi everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to talk about GitHub Copilot, right? You have been hearing this word last few days, and I am also curious to see like how Copilot can help us in today's programming world. So all you have to do, go to github.com/copilot, and you don't need to have any special subscription or anything. Go in. All you need is like you should have a GitHub account. I already have it, so I got logged in. So it's my personal GitHub account. So you would be landing into a page like if you are using ChatGPT and all these things, right? You'll be getting a conversational AI page. So if you see here, GitHub is also recommending install Copilot in your favorite editor like VS Code and others. So first, let me show you how this prompting is going to help you to build a small user interface or programming code solutions. Then we will go into Visual Studio Code and see how Copilot will help it to work in the right. So what I'm going to write here, first in this video I'm going to cover two items. One is I'm going to create a static HTML page, and I'm also going to write a Python program that does basic adding two numbers or something like that, right? So I'm telling my Copilot, create a static web page for data streams academy using HTML, right? So that much I know, like I want that to create a web page for data streams academy. So it's writing some code, right? It is creating an index.html file. I have two ways. I can either code this file, copy this code, so you can see like it gave some color and all these things. There's also some content, your gateway to data science, analytics, streaming technologies. Data Stream Academy is dedicated empowering individual organizations. All this information, what it has, and it is trying to understand from my terms, right? And this is covering it. It probably you can add more information, you can make it more content heavy, but my primary goal here is to let you know how this system works rather than like creating a wonderful UI, right? So I can copy this code, or I can download this code. When I download, this is going to create a file in my downloads. What I'm going to do, I'm opening this file right away, right? So this creates so it came right away, right? In downloads I have this index.html file. It creates something like this. I know this is not so interesting, but if you see, right, I have all asked is like you go and tell somebody to create an application or a web page, right? It did, right? All you did is like, okay, you whatever the information, now you can say, okay, headings should be this way, color should be this way, I need to fill some content in about, I should have some content like this should be my contact information. All these things are in your control, but what you have to understand, just by writing one line of code, I can create this much of code, right? So is this something which we need to scare off, like which I usually say everyone in my videos, right? AI is not a replacement for you, but how you would use AI, right? Today's world, you are already a web developer, or you're somebody who can programming some languages. Having AI skill will help you to be better than what you are today, because there are some areas, however you say that, okay, I have been learning this technology for ages, there are some part of it which AI is much better than you, and AI can enhance your skill rather than like defeating you. Okay, so now you have seen this, how my like index.html has created. If you are good at coding, you can still edit this file, or you can make these changes, right? So you will also be able to make these changes and copy the code. It's more of like, yeah, you also have a preview button here that will show you how your code look like, right? You don't really need to, like I was showing how the output would be, but you can preview the code and do it. Hope this is clear. So I'll do the next activity. I'm telling my system to create a Python code to add two numbers, right? So here I think most of you, if you are like, instead of Python, if you have some other programming language preferences, you can give that. But here in my case, I already have Python installed in my local, so I am telling them to create a Python code. So what they have did, created add two numbers function, input as like a and b, return the sum as output, and here in main, like it is taking like first value. If you are already familiar with Python, you would be able to understand this code very clearly. Like it is reading num1 num2 and results in by running this function. Add to number is a function which is written on the top, and it is printing the result, correct? So this is the commented one. It is saying like what does it do, right? This is a pretty straightforward code which I got. Even I can ask Copilot to write even more complex code if I want, but I'm like, my goal is like, okay, it is printing, will it work, right? So you can copy this code, or you can download this code if you want, but I'm copying this time. I have shown you when you download, it goes to download, and you have to create a py file, right? So I'm going to create a notepad text file, sorry, test dot py, and I'm editing, open this file with notepad. It will open. It's making my life complicated. So let me do this, right? I will do some other way. I'm opening a command prompt, given I'm so interested in command, and I'm going to create a file. Maybe if you have familiar with command prompt, right? I'm going to create a test.py, right? So copycon is a command which help you to create a file in a designated location. It is a DOS command. If you are familiar with DOS, you know that. Or you can create a test.py file in any location, and you can go to that location and open that py file directly, right? So now I am doing this Control Z. Now the file is created, correct? The file is created in the same location. All I have to do, Python space test.py. I already have Python installed in my system. Keep that in mind, right? So it is asking for first number 1, and second asking for second number. So sum of 1 and 2 is 3. So this programming is that easy, where like you would be able to do your like coding thing pretty straightforward. As I say, yeah, this is our Copilot thing, and give me 1 second. So yeah, so this is pretty straightforward. Like you can ask us to create a Python program to do an interest calculation, right? So I don't have a specific requirement here, so that like I'm little like little or no context to give to the system to write a complex program, right? So now if you read this calculate interest, and we have some input, principal, rate, time, and compound is false or true, and number of. So based on this, right, this writes that function, and it. So now you can use this function. So either you can create a piece of code, or you can even create a set of, like, you can create the entire end-to-end solution. You have seen how I have created the HTML file, and I have created the Python function, and how it was running, right? So you can download this right away. This function can be downloaded. So since you have asked, yeah, it also has a main function. I can download this. It's because of the py file, right? It is asking like, okay, should I keep it or should I delete it, right? Yeah, so that is yeah, let me help you with a command file which I have created, right? So I can go to the downloads, so which where this file is downloaded right now, and all I have to do is like I need to go to downloads, and from there I can do a command. Like you may not be yeah, so this is the downloads. I have commands and I can write like python, and what was my file name, interest calculator underscore version 2.py, right? So it's asking the input because this is the same code which you're seeing on the right side of the screen, right? So the same code is working, which has a main which is calling. So I enter the principal amount. I will say like, okay, I have 10,000 as my principal. What is the rate of interest you are expecting? I'm expecting like 9.5, and enter the number of years. Like I wanted to have this value 5 times. Type C for compound or S for simple. I wanted to see how the compounding work, right? So I'll give C. Enter the number of times the interest is compounded per year. So it is like quarterly compounding. There are different terms. So I'll say like it only compounds once a year, right? So in that case, compound interest will be 5,742.39, right? The total amount is like when you invest 10,000, you'll get 15,000. So yeah, and so jokes apart, right? So hope you understand like from the very basic to the complex, system is to capable to help you out and writing these complex programming things. Now, as I committed initially, we will go ahead and see like how we can set up this Copilot in our VS Code and how we can start writing the programming, right? So this is one way which you don't need any programming, but you still had like I was fluent, like I was able to flexibly run this Python because I had Python installed in my local. Keep that in mind. So now what I'm going to do, I have this VS Code which is already installed, right? So all you have to do, go here in the extensions and you can search for GitHub Copilot. In my case, I just installed. So once you click here, instead of uninstall, you will be seeing the install button. You can click on install. So once you installed, here you can see, right, welcome to Copilot, and Copilot is asking you to log in. So you remember like when we were using this Copilot in the other side, we have logged into our GitHub account, right? You have to click on sign in to use Copilot for free. So it will take you to the GitHub login page. So in my case, I am logging into the same GitHub account which I have. So if you have already logged in, you have to authorize the VS Code, because Visual Studio Code need to access the GitHub Copilot, right? So we have to authorize it. Click on authorize. So another site is trying to open the Visual Studio Code. You can open it because it's already open on the other side. Yeah, so now it is allowing, it is like Copilot is getting ready. So I'm so excited to see because I haven't tested this before. So now you can see Copilot is on your right side, right? So you can ask help me with the code, right? So I have some predict dot what does this code do, right? So I'm trying to understand GitLab to understand like what these 2-3 lines of code do, right? So it imports that library is commonly used for saving and loading Python objects such as machine learning models. You can see, right, I have an ML code which is there. So I'm trying to understand. Think, right, you got a very complex Python file in your hand and you wanted to understand what does it do, right? Doesn't it sound interesting? You don't need to ask somebody, right? You can go ask the questions, and you can also like do I have a little yeah, it's like, you can see like which file it is looking at, right? Can you fine tune it? I can ask that question. So it is more of like how you are doing this thing, right? You would be able to learn more and more. So what you are doing, how it is working, how we have been exploring this chat GPT and all these things, right? You can start GitHub Copilot to explore these options. So you can see couple of generic standard. Here is the fine-tuned code. Like I have this fine-tuned code here, which is better than this that Copilot. Like I would be able to compare it and try to understand the changes and things like that, right? Uh, any security threat. So I can ask these questions, right? Okay, does it observe any security threat? So anything, there are potentially security concerns provided in the code. Here is the issue and recommendations, right? Because we are referring these files without verifying its integrity, right? So we are taking the files from the. So like that, right? You would be able to understand and you make use of this code more efficiently using Copilot. I would say it is free. You have seen how it is installed, how you would be able to make use of this thing efficiently, right? I would always recommend you to explore this. And this is not just a VS Code. You have seen in the browser, like you have many options when Visual Studio, and everywhere you can use the Copilot, so that like you can make this code better. One, use this Copilot in web, or you can use that directly in VS Code, Visual Studio, and all these platforms, which is it's already available. Copilot is already available. Please make use of it and embrace this AI technologies. And I want you to understand how easy it is to code today. And I know some programming language is not something today. I know how to convert my code into any programming languages, and I know like how AI work, how I know how efficiently AI use, right? Maybe this piece of code is correct, but it may have some threat element. It may have something which is referring an external library and things, right? In order to understand, and maybe like understand logically, and applying that problem solving skill, optimization skill, right? Your expertise still matters, but please make sure that you are understanding what is this technology and how it is working. And I wanted to conclude this video by just adding, and GitHub Copilot is powered by OpenAI Codex platform, which is like I can say, which is derived from it. You may have heard this Codex term before as well. It is from GPT-3. Now Codex is purely for referring so many coding library to build this such of side of code, and Copilot is powered from that. So that is all for today. Hope this is content heavy, and definitely this help you to give a glimpse of how AI is evolving and how easily you can like build code, make use of the AI capability. Thank you. If you have any questions, please free to add that in the comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of the day.